Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for checking out this week's episode of Weekly Words. I pray that you are still staying safe in the midst of everything going on and you're only leaving your house if it's truly necessary. Before we get into this week's topic, let's go ahead and get started with Viewers Corner.
Hello, so my word for 2020 is foundational. The reason I choose this word is because I'm 3 years married, going on 4, with 3 little ones in our household. So we're well off into building our family. A builder knows that he wants to build anything that is durable and that would sustain itself throughout the years. He wants to start with a solid foundation. So our focus is building on things that are going to help us maintain healthy relationship as a family, no matter the season of life we're in or no matter what storm we may come against. And that goes for anything in our life. So in times of uncertainty, we always have something that we're anchored to, a foundation. So that's why I choose foundational as my word for 2020.
Thanks for sharing, Gray. I really pray that you are able to have a good foundation set for 2020, not just for you, but for your wife and your kids and your entire family. Thanks for sharing. This week, I actually want to talk to everybody about having a continued excellence in everything that we do, right? No matter who we are in life, there's going to be a point in time when we have some sort of adversity or circumstance that is subpar or not ideal or something that's difficult for us to face. And during those times, I can personally speak from experience. It's so easy and so tempting to use those negative circumstances as an excuse to not put our best foot forward. Sometimes we think that situations are never going to change or that trying is pointless and fleeting and isn't going to get us anywhere. And so we fall into a habit or a routine of giving it our second best or not really trying hard or thinking that things are going to change. But I believe we're called to have continued excellence in everything that we do, because oftentimes it's during those tough circumstances that we actually see the true character behind who we are. And so I want to encourage everybody to do that. And I think we can even look to the Bible to get an example of how we can make it through those tough times, specifically at the life of Joseph. Now, there are so many things that we can get when looking at Joseph's story, but what I want to focus on today is his continued excellence that he had. So in case you don't know, just a little bit backstory on Joseph. He had a dream when he was young that he would be, his brothers and his father would be bowing down before him. Well, his brothers got really, he shared that with his family, and his brothers got really jealous, and ultimately they sold him into slavery. He was in slavery, and then he was out of slavery, and he was working for a man named Potiphar. And during that time, Potiphar's wife actually tried to seduce him, but he said no. He said no to temptation, and so she lied on him, saying that he forced himself on her. And then he got thrown in jail, and he was in jail for a while until finally the king released him because he needed someone to interpret his dreams. And then he was able to be second in command. I said king, but I actually meant Pharaoh. He was second in command to the Pharaoh. But the thing that's consistent about Joseph during all that hardship and adversity that he went to, things that is less than ideal and that nobody wants and things that he actually did not deserve, was his continued mindset to have excellence in all that he was doing. While he was sharing his dream, he was working in excellence. While he was in slavery, he was working in excellence. While he was working for Potiphar and Potiphar's wife tried to make a move on him, he stayed in excellence and did not allow himself to fall into temptation. He fled. Whenever he got put into prison, he was still acting in excellence because he actually shared the meaning of a dream with the prisoner, which and the prisoner ended up going free. And then the prisoner told the Pharaoh about Joseph years later. And because of Joseph's continued call to be excellent in all that he was doing, and not just his actions, but in his mindset and his posture and what he was doing, he was prepared whenever it was time for him to step into his destiny. He spent 13 years in this less than ideal series of unfortunate circumstances, and then he spent 80 years ruling. I think that's so encouraging because while we're in the 13 years, it seems like a lot. But when we look at the bigger picture and see that it's just a very small portion of the entire life of greatness that God has for us, like, all right, cool, I can put up with the 13 years. So for anybody who's in a season or in a place where they feel like it's less than ideal, I encourage you to continue to put your foot of excellence forward. So if you're in that job that you don't really like, continue to be the best employee that you can be and develop skills to prepare you for your next job or for your dream job. If you're someone and you're in a situation where you don't want to finish out school with the school that you're at, but you have to finish your last semester there or your last school year there, continue to be excellent in all that you do and try to get the highest grade that you possibly can get and develop yourself for whenever it's time for you to move on after that. Wherever you are in a season, job, school, relationship, situation, continue to have excellence and perform excellence as you go forth, because there's something that you can uncover in that circumstance. Because in no way does your circumstance define who you are, but oftentimes in our circumstances we can find who we are. How we act, how we react, how we perform, how we speak, how we carry ourselves. I encourage everybody to be like Joseph and carry excellence with you in everything that you do, even when it's in a circumstance or a situation that isn't necessarily favorable to you at that point in time. Know that God has the ultimate plan to turn anything around that the enemy meant for evil. Thank you for checking out this week's episode of Weekly Words. I pray that you thoroughly enjoyed it and got something positive from it. If you have any questions or suggestions for things for me to talk about in the future, or you want to be featured in Viewers Corner, feel free to email me at weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. Again, that's weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out the Weekly Words extended podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. We have 4 episodes up and a 5th one on the way. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you back here next time in 2 weeks for our next Weekly Words episode. Stay blessed.